This video talks about setting up the DSS add-on with a database for synchronization and sharing to multiple clients. All right, so I'm going to go over the steps to share and remotely connect and sync to any database. Right now, I have the default database active. I'm going to switch to one named DSS that I already made. This has some imports and some files already in it. But let's add a little bit more. Always add files that are at a network path. I'm using a Synology B station. This is important so my other computers on the network can play the files also. Let's import this Library of the Gods folder, so we'll have a couple imports and 4 groups to play with. Keep adding as many imports that you like until you get your initial database ready to share, but you can still modify it after the fact while it's shared from any client. Then go to the Options/Manage Databases tab, and if you have the DSS add-on in your license, you will now see a Remote tab and a Shared tab. After I share the DSS database, it will be moved to the Shared tab and will be then available to the entire facility. It's also going to pull the same database to the Remote tab on this same machine because I'm going to use this as a server and a work machine at the same time for this demonstration. I just click the Share button. Let's watch it do its thing. Now it's pulling it over to the Remote tab, and it auto-connects to the shared database since the database was loaded and active. So I have one in the shared folder and a duplicate in the Remote. It's no longer in the local folder. If you ever want to bring it back there, then you would click the drop button to unshare it. Loaded server database are always in the Remote tab. You also can ping it to make sure it's working whenever you need to do some troubleshooting if the server changes IPs. So let's get it over to another machine and syncing. To do that, go to the Shared tab and click the Copy Info button. It copies the location and port to your clipboard. Next, I'll remote into a client that I want to pull the database to. On this PC laptop, I'll then go to the Remote tab in the Manage Databases section and click the Paste/Pull button. And this pulls it down onto the laptop. As you can see, it has the exact same imports and groups as the server database. The files play no problem on the laptop because they're all at the same path, so this client is good to go now. It's syncing with the server. To test, let's change the colors a little bit and let's add a group called Glass. Let's also create an empty import named Gore on this Remote database. I just made some changes on the Remote machine, and they're actually already synced into the main database, but you don't see it over on the main rig just yet. It's because you have to hit the refresh button to update the node tree items visually. All records change sync automatically, and you will see the changes on all the clients on the very next search. So example, right now we have 2,579 records. Let's delete one import as a test on the main rig. And then now we're down to 2,500 records. Then if I go back to the PC laptop and do a search, the records have already been removed, but the import is still here, but once again, that's just visually only. You can manually refresh it, but it will also refresh when changing or loading the database. To reiterate, all database changes sync instantaneous, and the refresh button only updates the node tree's UI elements. One great thing about the DSS is the server does not need to be running for the clients to edit a Remote database. Now we're going to bring in another client. Let's copy the info again and remote into my Mac this time. Click the Paste/Pull button again. And as you can see, the Mac has the same imports, the same groups as the 2 other clients now. Let's change some colors on the Mac and make a wood group. And let's change this to be purple. Again, these changes are synced to the main rig and clients as I make them. So if we go over to the laptop, we hit refresh, you're going to see the wood group appear and other changes just made. Success. Now hopefully you get the idea how this whole thing works. The main rule to follow is to always add files from network paths. If you get cross-platform path issues, these can be fixed easily using the remapping page to remap the PC folder to the Mac path or the opposite. That's all for this video. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out via a support ticket. See you next time.